Hi Aquarius, thank you for joining me. I hope you guys are well. Welcome to Aries season. Quite an interesting season for you guys, having come out of what seems to be a really long, watery season and now into this fiery energy, fire energy and stagnant air. That sounds like combustion to me. Towers, breakdowns, miscommunications, foundations just generally dissipating. This is like, they often refer to it as the breakup card in tarot. If we're to tie it to astrology, it is very much Mars energy. It is that very intense, that very sort of just full on. It's a full on kind of energy, and I wouldn't be surprised if you're feeling quite full on this month. Either way, there seems to be some sort of breakdown in communication, some sort of breakdown of a marriage, a partnership, a union. Feels quite forced, feels quite forceful. Feels like it might be with a Leo, Sagittarius, and Aries season. Could this be a breakdown with a fire energy, somebody with fire in their chart, and they seem to have come out of this untethered, whereas you seem to have come out of this quite diminished, in fact. It's taken its toll on you. You may not be feeling as high in the ranks as this fire energy. I'm gonna stick to all of that. At the bottom of the card deck, even, I have the Four of Pentacles. Let's see what's going on, Aries. Okay, so I have Two of Swords, Justice, Knight of Swords. Could this be about a Libra? A situation which led you to have to be kind of on guard for yourself. A lot of self-mastery, a lot of self-discipline could have gone into the situation, or it could be that it required you to have a lot more self-mastery and a little bit more discipline. Either way, it's a situation that's quite hostile, and there seems to be movement forward. If this isn't a Libra, this could be a situation where you're hoping for a bit of justice. It is also quite a karmatic time, so if you're sitting there ready in defense, could it be possibly that you're waiting for whatever this decision is to come? And I feel like it's going to come quite quickly this April, this Aries season. Judgment, Eight of Swords. Are you ruminating with the same thoughts, the same thinking, the same very imprisoning situations, like going through your mind again and again? There is a choice you need to make, and it is in regards to something that you feel you are caught way too much up in. Like, this situation is now beyond just being a pain in the bum where you're like feeling quite defensive about it. It's now turned into something that you yourself have. It's almost like you're becoming quite obsessive with your thoughts, Aquarius. It's almost as if there is a situation, a relationship that you are reluctant to stop thinking about. You've got to be quite careful. I'm losing my voice. It's like you don't want to hear this. The way I'm seeing this, Aquarius, I've got Four of Wands, King of Pentacles. Was this a marriage to a earth sign? Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. Could have been a home situation, a marriage situation, a partnership, either way. Which means that you are or having had to move away from, and move away from quite quickly. Knight of Wands, Eight of Cups. Something that was pulled away from you, or either you had to move away from really quickly just in order to go and find what you have to discover yet in life. Or somebody else has pulled away from you. Which could have had you feeling like quite imprisoned. But it is something that you have been thinking about recently. And I think finally with Aries season, with this, Knight of Wands forward moving quite fast, quite fiery, quite fun energy of Aries season, you will find that with the Hangman and the Chariot, I think you're ready to come out of your voluntary suspension. I think you've got to be quite careful where things are sort of borderline obsessive. You've got to really take a look at your OCDs and your anxieties. What is it that you think holding on to the situation is going to get you? Where is it going to get you? Is it worth it? Do you not already think that by having this super defensive but almost not knowing what's going to happen? I mean, who can really tell you what's going to happen, Aquarius? But don't put yourself in such a bind. You have literally your refusal to let go of the situation is actually binding you tighter and tighter in a bad place. The person that you were with, the person that has come out of this break, has very clearly moved on. It's just you now stuck in these prison-esque thoughts, these swords, all of these swords that are just turning into an obsession even. This woman is blindfolded. She's bound by this choice, this decision. I think Aries season is really saying to you, you've spent long enough hanging around in limbo. You've hung around waiting for some sort of illumination as to what went wrong, how did it go wrong, why did it go wrong. You've been thinking about it enough. And it's pretty clear that whoever needed to walk away has not only walked away, but they have sped off. It's time to move forward. Really gather what you have left. Gather what you've learned. Take from this what you can. It is an opportunity to grow. So be mindful that you don't stagnate and end up losing yourself here, suspended, with no real sort of come through as to what is the best path to take. And it is in that suspension. Do you see here, while she's upright, she's got these blindfolds on. And the minute she's sort of let go of any pretense, any falsehood, it's just fake, isn't it? It's not real. And the minute you decide to let that go, I think, is when you get to ride off. And you'll have a lot more control over your life and over the reins of your life and what's going on and what is the best way to deal with this. And I think you already know the best way is to really just take what you have, take what you've learned and move on. But be prepared to let it go. I don't think it is really the time to try and serve your own special version of justice, of karma. I think that part has really just moved on and now are very much in like a good part of their life. This could be about an Aries, a Leo, somebody who has fire in their chart, definitely. Could be about a Libra. Could be about Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. I think they've moved on. I think that the real advice for you for Aries season is to take charge of legalities, perhaps, legal things you need to sign. Maybe get everything looked over while Mars is in Gemini. Like, that is a lot of finicky all over the place kind of energy. So I think on April the 17th, when Mercury goes into Aries, sorry, you get a good opportunity to sort of say your piece, I think. Say your piece and be done. Be careful not to get stuck in doing things for the wrong reason, like getting caught up in just very basic, petty, limiting behavior. I don't think it will serve you any justice. I think, if anything, it will hold you back from getting like what you should now move forward to. I think Ace of Wands, Ten of Pentacles, if you are to use your time wisely in Aries season and actually collect the cups that you have, I think first of all, like, realize where is it that you've been hanging around too long? Like, where can it genuinely benefit you to untie yourself? Get up, like, unbind yourself, get out of this headspace, this very, like, not helpful headspace. You've got to be super careful. All that Neptunian energy also, it can blur lines. It can just, get out of this headspace and start thinking about what it is that you can do to go from being upside down to being complete. Accepting that there are things that you do have to walk away from, getting up, dusting yourself off, climbing back on that horse and moving forward, rising into the horizon, because it is on the other side of that horizon. And really be careful not to get stuck in the same repetitive, petty patterns, like arguments, debates, kind of one-up each other and like prolonging this tower energy. Just like, why would you want to prolong ripping off a band-aid? Rip it off. Move on, really move on, because the quicker you decide to move on, the quicker you decide to really grab life by the reins, in comes this Ace of Wands, gush of winds with the Ten of Pentacles. That looks pretty decent to me. Tie up whatever needs to be tied up. But in the process of that, start from the beginning again if you must. But whatever you're holding on to is keeping you in really dark places. Let go of whatever doesn't serve you, whatever you don't need anymore. Let it go. This April, do as the Emperor does. Grab life by the reins. Make a decision for a better you. Learn what you can from the situation. And move on, Aquarius. I wish you guys a beautiful Aries season. If you'd like to book a reading, you can contact me on rubyreadstarot.com. Follow me on Insta. There's lots of fun stuff that goes up on there too. And leave me a comment, thumbs up. I love it when you guys talk to me. Thank you for watching. Have a beautiful Aries season, and I shall catch you again soon.